High sensitivity is hard to master, but pays off when you do it right. And sometimes you don't have a choice thanks to a small mousepad or desk space. So I thought, why not make a tutorial for all those either really dedicated or really poor people? Now, first of all, I've almost got 5 years of experience playing high sense, from starting in CSGO to Valorant. My peak rank when I played was Ascendant 3, I have a high score of 107,000 on grid shot, and I'm still a virgin. These things generally mean nothing, but this is just to give you an idea of how useful this guide will be. With high sensitivity, it's hard to get control over your mouse and give precise movement, because it takes less space on your mousepad to move into the place you want to go. But the main advantage is that you're usually faster than others when you have good control over your mouse. And on top of that, some things like spraying becomes so much more easy. So, to become good at high sense, you need to practice your weakness. Get precise. For doing this, I recommend using AimLab. It's a free application used by many pros, good players, and your local smurf, because it gives great customization for your preferences. To get the right training, you're first of all looking for tasks that train your precision. A task I recommend for this is 6-shot. This is one of the hardest tasks for a high sense player. But if you get better at it, you'll see a significant improvement in your aim. When doing this task, what's important is that you don't worry about rushing it. You need to take your time between shots and make sure that your accuracy is up at least a 90%. Initially, it can be really tedious to do this task, but it pays off. Another thing that is significantly harder with high sense is tracking. And while tracking is not very important in Valorant, it does help you get more control over your mouse. So because all the tracking you really need for Valorant is horizontal, I recommend you doing tasks like strafe track and really focus on staying on the targets. Getting a high score here is also not important, just try and feel in control of your movements. On top of this, you should do tasks on AimLab that you enjoy doing. Usually for people that's grid shot or some other thing with fast flicks. This helps you be more consistent with your routine, because having to do these tasks that you just can't enjoy isn't any fun. Now that I've gone over the AimLab side of things, I want to go into the in-game part of the guide. Playing deathmatch is a key to being able to apply the things you've learned in AimLab, because training your aim individually is important, but if you want to really improve, you need to be able to use those tasks while in gunfights and accounting for having to move, control your spray, and thinking about positioning. Eventually, if you've done this for a while, you'll get a feeling of what you need to work on with your aim. And I'm not going to do that for you because I'm not your mother, but you'll know when you get there. Now lastly, I want to touch on when to do your training. What I recommend is doing a short version of the training as a warm-up for 5 minutes before a game. And for actual aim training, I would do that at the end of the day, right before bed. The reason for this is because resting your aim after doing your training allows your muscles to really reflect on it. It sounds really weird, but it genuinely improves your aim a lot quicker. Something else you need to keep in your mind is that consistency is the most important part of all of this. If you only train once a week, you're not going to get much better. There has to be a routine to this. This was the guide. It's pretty short but effective. Trust me. Subscribe so I can brag to my friends.